I know this lady from Cisco. She's the VP of Developer Relations at Cisco, right?
Yeah.
And she's moving to Microsoft. So she tweeted something out last night saying, "I'm so proud to work with so and so at Microsoft. I'm sorry to leave, blah 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 blah." So I click on this link at the lady at Microsoft, right? Another lady, and I come up with her link, and she's a VP of Developer Relations at Microsoft. And right under her name in huge letters, there's like hashtag Black Lives Matter, hashtag Shift Left, right? And then, in her bio, it's a whole bunch of rainbow flags and everything. And I couldn't tell if it was a guy or a girl, but it's a senior relations at Microsoft, and they're kind of throwing out their Shift Left. And I was thinking about it, and I go, can you imagine if I put All Lives Matter, Shift Right in my profile, and how that would look? And then I was thinking,
Call six.
why is Shift Left so good and Shift Right so evil Nazi like, right? And I'm thinking it shouldn't be. And it's been drilled into us slow. Even I think that, oh, you can put Shift Right in there. You're like a Nazi.
Yeah.
Why? Why is Shift Left so good? It's not. If you're that far over that you post that stuff big and bold on your social media account, you've got as many problems as someone that says I'm a Shift Right and everything else. You have a problem. There really is. So, and I'm thinking,
wait a second. Are you sure that hashtag Shift Left isn't some keystroke that shortcut on your computer?
No, it's definitely you wish, right? And then I was thinking Microsoft must be a really divided place right now, because not everybody there is a crazy liberal. There has to be leftover vestiges of other people.
Yeah.
But this lady is purposely sticking the finger in the eye of her other coworker just to try to piss them off, right? She knows what she's doing. And I was thinking, I can't imagine working there, because that's a flag for me, seeing that going, oh shit, I could never work there.
This is not unprecedented in history.
Yeah.
I mean, this actually happened in Russia in the early 1900s. And this actually happened in Germany in the 30s. These people were not ashamed to say, shift left in Russia, then to become the Soviet Union, and shift right, I never considered the Nazis to be the right. I always considered them to be the left.
It's basically her screaming out at the top of her lungs, "Hey, I'm a member of the Nazi Party."
Yes,
come get me.
and the fact that you can say that proudly and strongly in the bubble of Silicon Valley, which is extraordinarily wealthy and powerful, and you can't say it on the other side. That's
you're verboten. You're verboten.
It's fascism. That's what fascism does. That's what intimidating does. This is bullying. This is intimidation.
This lady's a brown shirt. I consider her, because they keep saying Trump in his brown shirts. I've never seen it, but I've seen the brown shirts of the left come out all the time. It's like literally all the time. It's just ridiculous, because my wife went to Target yesterday. She goes to Target still. And she was checking out, and it was this, she couldn't tell if there was this guy or a woman. He was really skinny. She thought it was a girl because he had the mask on too. But there was a boatload of hair on her arms, right?
Yeah.
And my wife comes home and she kept going, he, she, it. She didn't know what to call it, right?
Yeah.
So she asked me, can I ask this person what they are? And I go, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure. I don't know if you can add. The rules change like all the time. Right?
Yes.
I don't know if it's on purpose to confuse us. I don't know. So I go, I literally don't know. And then she goes, well, what they should do is wear a patch. I go, no, you can't have them do that, because then they'll start bringing up Nazi Germany and the Jews.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, how am I supposed to know what to call this person? Right? And evidently you're supposed to call them something, have them correct you, and then you're supposed to call them that. I
Yeah.
go, well, that's confusing and it's like time consuming.
Yeah.
And then because in the Chinese language there is no gender, zero
Yes.
gender, zero.
Yeah.
So my wife, been here 20 years from Beijing, and she's learned hard to learn genders. Now she has to get rid of them again.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, it's just, why did they make things
It can
overly?
disorient. I mean, when people are disoriented, they're vulnerable. When
Yeah,
people
that's
are
what it is.
so what with these two examples, what you're seeing is bullying and
Yeah,
disorientation.
yeah, yeah,
I refuse to accommodate the pronoun thing, not because I want to screw the person and humiliate them or anything like that. It's not to be mean. It's just I am fluent in the English language. And I'm not all of a sudden going to change my fluent and correct use of the English language to accommodate random individuals.
yeah,
It's ridiculous, especially again when you don't know. What if
yeah,
somebody is dressed up like a girl? A guy comes out and dresses up like a girl, but still continues to identify as a man. He
yeah,
just wants to be dressed up like a girl. Like
yeah,
you can't assume that he's a she. Again, and this is all part of this. What I have been saying this for my whole life, that since college, that the Marxists have infiltrated everything. And part of it is these are all just strategies, like taking control of the language. I mean, again, I hate to keep leaning on this, but Orwell talked about this. This was all out there before. And what you have with the Saul Alinsky thing, accuse people of what you're doing,
yeah,
and that way they're the ones that get in trouble first, and then nobody pays attention to what you're doing. These are all strategies of a Marxist infiltration and takeover. I know I sound like the tinfoil hat guy when I say this, but this is how it happened in China. This is how it happened in Russia. This is how it happened in Germany. This is how it happens in these religious Muslim countries where I mean, again, Iran used to be a secular country. It didn't have, the Shah of Iran was not, it had nothing to do with Muslims. But then the Muslims took over, and now we have the Ayatollahs, and it's a religious-based country. This is what they do, and this is what's happening. Now, whether or not this woman actually believes this stuff, or she's just going along to get along, who knows?
yeah. No,
But
looking at the picture, she's definitely going
mhm,
along with this
mhm,
stuff. You
mhm.
can tell right away.
Right,
You know,
right. But again, the same thing has happened. Like that's how most of the soldiers in the German army during Germany, the overwhelming majority of them were not part of the Nazi party. You had to join the party. Same with like the Communist Party in China. You have to be a member of it. These people weren't members of the soldiers weren't members of it. They just didn't want to get killed.
yeah,
They had to do this, and this is what we're seeing, the same strategy happening here. You know, and
yeah,
the implication too that if I don't support Black Lives Matter, that somehow I'm a racist.
mm,
Again, it's disorienting, it's confusing, it doesn't make any logical sense.
yeah,
Logic has nothing to do with it. But
yeah,
but just because I don't support a Marxist organization of radicals, you know, that means that I don't like. I deal with more black people and have more conversations with black people than anybody in friggin' Silicon Valley has on a daily basis.
yeah,
Anybody. I
yeah,
have had more of them in my personal space, complete strangers, and had conversations with them than anybody in
yeah,
Silicon Valley.
yeah.
But they get, this is all part of the virtue signaling. It is. This is a complete Marxist infiltration, and it's working. I think
Oh,
the only solution to it is to infiltrate back,
yeah,
change,
yeah.
switch part of the
Yeah, it's
Democratic Party.
absolutely working because we don't have a voice. That's the problem.
No, no,
So it
you don't.
makes it look like one-sided stuff,
Right,
And
right.
it's like that's why it's so frustrating.
Right.
Because you can't get your message out. If you do, you're censored, you're banned. See, the favorite thing for them to do is banning things.
Right.
I don't see too many right-wing stuff banning people.
Right.
But you see a lot of left-wing things banning people and prohibiting them from speaking.
The Biden administration, all the people coming in from the Biden administration, and now the media is saying, what are we going to do with the Trump supporters? How are we going to deprogram them?
Yeah.
Well, I have a great idea. Here's what you can do. You can start and dust off that old House Un-American Activities Committee, and you can run them out. And writers in Hollywood that are still left that are conservative, we can blacklist them. This is what they did. This has already been done. And now they're just doing it their way because they've infiltrated, they've reached the positions of power, they've reached the positions of influence, and now they're flexing their muscles. People don't like it. It's not going to last. The red pill. Donald Trump he wasn't the leader of anything. He was the representative of what millions of Americans.
He was the pill from the Matrix.
Right.
You took it and then you woke up. That's what he was. We took the red pill, whatever it was. I forget the blue pill.
Yeah, the red pill. Yeah.
We took the red pill. We got out of the Matrix, and bang, we're more conscious of the stuff around us.
Right. Once you're red pilled, you can't go back.
You can't go back. It's just
now when you see that hashtag, you're like, oh, this one. Or when
I know.
social media like giving you their pronouns.
Yeah.
Again, I think the next logical step is as I said, those of us that do have a very pro-American life, raise your kids and tell your kids to register as Democrats.
Yeah.
Register as Democrats, run for office as Democrats, get in and infiltrate just the way they did. They did the same thing. Be a school teacher. And tell and use your hashtags and your pronouns. And then when it comes to actually teaching the kids, teach them. Infiltrate back.
That's what I should do. I should actually change my affiliation to Democrat. That would be funny.
Absolutely. Yeah. And again, start infiltrating back. A thing that I live by, a code that I live by is what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Now, I don't want to manipulate people, I don't think manipulating people is good, but that's what we're seeing now. This is all manipulation. And it's being manipulated by powerful people. That woman, she's a vice president or something at Microsoft.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I'm nothing. I'm literally I am the lowest form of human in terms of job status. I'm nothing.
Yeah.
I'm the asshole.
Yeah, I know.
Asshole, Yeah,
you're a white guy. You're an asshole. Of course you are. You racist. You racist bastard.
Just infiltrate. If you want to be a school teacher, make that your career choice. If you don't know what you're going to do, and get into school, and then start teaching things. And some of you're going to get fired. You might go a bridge too far and get fired, but they didn't do that. That's what the Chinese did. Like you've been telling me this for years, and that's why I'm fascinated every time you call up with something that Wendy says, is they're patient. That's what you always said about.
They're patient. That's for sure.
And just be patient, and it's little things along the way. But infiltrate.
Yeah. Hey, I got to put gas in the car. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.